That is a huge bulb of garlic. Come on, Dace. Today is June 30th. It's a beautiful morning. And I'm gonna start out today hilling the potatoes. I just got here to the potato field. This is the potato hiller. And how this is supposed to work is these points go through and loosen up that soil a little bit, just kind of like I did when I was cultivating, except that's not really to pull out weeds or to, till up weeds. That's just really to break up the soil. That way then when this shoe goes through, it can grab more soil, and in theory, you're throwing that soil then up onto the potatoes. And that's why I'm gonna have to go at a decent speed, because like I said, I wanna throw that dirt, not like, fly through the field 30, 40 mile an hour, but just go at a good pace to where it'll take that dirt and, put it up onto here a little bit. So I'm taking from here and pushing it to here. So I'm gonna do a couple rows. I've never done this before. Dad has done it in the past 2 or 3 years since we have gotten this piece of equipment. We didn't buy that new, but we got it used from another farmer, and it works really well for us. We like it a lot. So we'll see how this goes. If you can tell, there's a clear difference in the field. I don't know if you can see that through the camera. All these dark plants are the red potatoes, and then from here over is the white potatoes, the lighter colored leaves. Light, dark. And now they're just coming into blossom. So I got 4 rows done. Actually a very satisfying job. All that fresh, really nice dark soil getting tilled up, thrown on top of the plants, just looks awesome. I was a little bit over this way too far, so I think if I straightened it out, it would have been better. I don't think I hurt the plants too much, but you can just see, right here, how it's thrown up on top of this plant, and then here it's not thrown up at all. And so I got that figured out. When I was halfway through the row, I realized I gotta move over more. Let's go check out my other 2 rows I did. I think they're even better though. This is on the totally other side of the field. Now this is a little thistle patch here that we're not obviously happy about. But yeah, I can just already see that the plants aren't near as, I would say, I guess you would say destroyed. And as far as the dirt being thrown on both sides, it's very even. And I don't see near the plant damage. So that's really good to see. I'm glad I got it figured out when I did. I just found out that it seems like I gotta hug the right side a little bit tighter than the left side, because even when I think I'm centered, I'm not quite centered. So I just finished up the entire field going over it once. I think it looks pretty good. I had a real hard time getting it perfect, like as far as keeping it completely centered. And I know you can't do it perfect all the time, but like ideally, you want that plant to be in the center of your hill. And so obviously right here, you can see I was more on this side than I was on this side. And like here, this one is just about as perfect as you can get, but they're not all like that, that's for sure. This one's pretty darn good too. Sometimes if the field, you know, lays down like hill one way or uphill another way, then it covers more or less on one side or the other. Dad's coming up now, he's gonna see what he thinks. I definitely think we need to go over along where the drive road is, these rows again, but he might wanna go over the entire field again, like just every row. I had a really hard time keeping it perfectly centered.
Well, that looks really, really good. That looks really good. Wow, hit him again.
You think
Yep, hit him
this same direction, or do I go the opposite way
No,
now?
I'll go the same direction. Beautiful, that's the best hill job in use. And part of it is because it's on time and you can see where to go. When they start laying down, you don't even, it's hard. It's beautiful.
I wanted to set my camera down because I'm gonna start again, but you can see here the soybeans are starting to come up. And it seems like every single year when they get planted, we get a downpour and it washes those seeds back out, but I think they're gonna be okay. You can see like that seed popping out there. And about 3-4 days, you'll see perfect lines straight down the field. There's more. All right, so that's it. Every row has gone over twice. All in all, I think it went really good for my first time. Certain plants, like the red potatoes, got a little more damage than the whites because they're just a little bit bigger. If I wasn't exactly perfect, I would hit them a little bit. Now, I don't think I hurt or killed anything. I mean, I did hurt a little bit, but I don't think I killed anything. I just think that it might be a little bit damaged, but all in all, it's really nice. Now we have a mound of dirt on this side and this side, so now those potatoes underneath the ground can get bigger, bulge out, and they're not gonna then poke out of the soil. They're not really gonna come, unless the rain would absolutely pound, come up out of here, but they will come out of the side, and that's the whole point of hilling. Mom, Graham, and Uncle Rick are working on transplanting the last batch of cole crops.
Busy beavers we are.
The market's closed today, but I just got out here and I'm gonna grab the dosatron to fertilize the lower high tunnel. But as I showed up out here, I noticed that our cousin Joe came and poured concrete around our clean out drain here. So that's really nice. And the main benefit for that is now nobody's gonna hit it with the mowers, nobody's gonna hit it with the trucks, and it'll be level with the ground so that way when they're coming through with the mowers, they can go right over top of it. Now we might have to fill it in a little bit with some topsoil and plant some grass seed, but other than that, that's gonna be so much nicer. The market's obviously closed, not anything going on, but I am a little hungry, so I'm gonna grab maybe a cookie, peanut butter Buckeye. I think this is calling my name. Although it is 11:30, maybe I should just make myself a little sandwich. That way I'll be good then for the rest of the day. Never mind, scratch that. We're all out of hoagie buns and Kaisers. This will be really simple. I'll just take this off of here. Hopefully the water shut off. Take this off of here. Take this off of here. I don't know who did this. It's kind of funny. Pop it out of here. And we're good to go. I wasn't gonna show this, and if you don't wanna see dead animals, skip like the next 15 seconds, but this is just really funny to me. I don't know if it was Joe or who did it, but we had a chipmunk get caught in our trap. We had it here for the greenhouse because he was coming in our pots and digging up all of our grasses. And so he must have seen it, or somebody's seen it and put help him stuck and pointed to it. So just, you know, kind of funny. Maybe not though, if you love chipmunks. Starting to get very hot now. I got my hat on. I'm now back here to the tractor. I'm gonna wash this off because we won't be using this hiller now for another year. I wanted to do this as soon as I was done, but Dad was using the water. The next job I'm getting into is gonna be mowing the strawberries. I've got this mower hooked up and I'm gonna do one row at a time. You can do a better job and a more precise job when you're only doing one row. Like we could bring our big bat wing through and we could do multiple rows at a time, but then you run the risk of not only running your tire up on top, right down the plastic, packing it in, but also not being able to do quite as good of a job. And so I'm gonna go as low to the plastic as I can without hitting it, because when you hit it, it just absolutely throws plastic everywhere, making it a huge mess. We're not 100% sure yet if we are gonna be keeping the strawberry patch for one more year, which would be its third season, or getting rid of it and just having our new one that we're gonna be starting. But we'll decide that at a later date. We would love to keep it, but there's just not a lot here, and the upkeep is a lot. So, like I said, we'll decide. So it's the next day. We actually got 3/10 of an inch of rain last night, so it's kind of keeping us out of the fields this morning. I'm heading to feed the cows, and then I gotta start getting orders around for the farm market. Come on, Dace. So I gotta get a lot of produce picked today. The first thing I'm gonna start out with is garlic. And I learned my lesson from last time. Wow, that dirt's soft. I am not gonna try and pull them out by hand, because all you do is rip the tops off. If you go right in the middle of 2 garlic, you can kind of loosen 2 up at a time instead of doing 1. I wanna get around 20. I actually had a lady message me yesterday on Facebook saying that she would like to order 50 of them. And I asked her if she wanted all big, if she wanted like field run, which would be big and small. And she said field run would be fine for her. She likes them fresh because she said they're easier to peel. Like she wants them the same day that we pull them out of the ground. These are muddy, but man, are they nice. Holy cow. I'll show you the root system here in a minute, closer up, so you can see just how thick they really are. And that's why you can't really pull them out of the ground without using a fork or some kind of machine. That is a huge bulb of garlic. I'm actually gonna take them right back to the hose in the blue shed and wash them off while the mud's still wet, because when it dries, then it's a pain. When they're green like this, we don't cut them real short. We like to leave them a little bit on the longer side. It just lets people know that they're homegrown, fresh. And then once the season progresses and the tops dry out after we get them pulled and in our barn, that's when we'll cut them short. And it'll be like all the garlic you see in a regular grocery store. Just get a couple more here yet. I can't believe how soft that ground is. Man, are they rooted in there still? These all look like nice ones by the stems anyway. Beautiful. Nice. Awesome. Great. Cool. I'm out of words. Supposed to rain again later on today, which is now nothing new really. If I can get done with everything I need to before that comes, I'm gonna try and plant some dill. The day we planted the cabbage, I didn't show it, but we planted my sunflowers, and then we have part of a row left. So I wanted to, you know, utilize the rest of it, which is a lot of dill if I do plant this all. I don't see any problems here, but the rabbits always love to come out of the woods there and chew off the tops of them, which I don't see any, which is good. And then I don't know if Dad meant to. I don't think he did, but maybe he did. He planted sweet corn here. I thought he was saving these rows for more sunflowers. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can see how nice the corn is coming up straight down the row. So I mean, at least the ground's being used and we'll make some sort of profit off it. Right, Dace? Yeah, you can see how dirty they are. Now watch this. Especially when they're wet like this, the skin or the outer dirty layer literally blows right off. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning, but complete transformation. And then you have all those beautiful white roots. Look how long they are. I should wash the basket out. It's so muddy. I think this is the biggest bulb of today. And what we always look for, which I don't see any yet, is like, I wouldn't say rotting, but maybe like getting overgrown, and that's when like the bulb will start getting a little bit yellow. This one's actually splitting a little bit, which tells me like it maybe at one point got a little dry, which I find that really hard to believe. And then it, you know, got a lot of rain and it grew again. But the worst thing, to me anyway, you can do with garlic is wait too long to harvest it, because we've done that in previous years and it just looks really ugly. It gets yellow, they start to break apart, like the toes will start to split. And what I told that lady was probably by the beginning of next week, which today is Tuesday, so 6 days, we will be harvesting. So it'll be exciting, we'll get them all out. Especially when there's a lot of rain. It's not good because that'll make them rot even faster. Garlic's done.